kid, maybe 15, 16 years old, babysitting me in the theater.
Right. Well, you're not allowed to watch the movie alone.
Right. Well, I was
not allowed to do what? Because you get an MU. Like he was watching to make sure you didn't have any lack of mask kind of shit.
And he was making small talk before that, and he was saying, well, you know, you remember the Salem witch trials? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was the psychs behind that. Well, I don't think there were psychiatrists back then. And he went, oh, no, not the psychs. I mean the pharmaceutical companies.
Oh, dear goodness.
No, not quite.
See, these are the kids. You just got to, you know, you dash off a get well soon card, and that's about it, because it's sad, you know. And you know, this is the interesting thing. This is the, and it goes back to, you know, to answer further the question of, you know, what did you perceive? What I perceived, and I kind of avoided the question by saying I got stupider. But let me tell you something. These are good people. These are some of the best people you can meet. These are people who really want to help. They're willing, I mean, they're willing to give up their entire life and their own personal ambition to help others. You know, that's a pretty rare, and generally you would say, you know, it's a pretty decent person. That's the thing. And you know, and I would say I'm not a bad person. You know, if I saw me walking around there, I'd say, okay, he's okay. You know.
But when you say you got stupider, how do you think that happened? Well,
in my opinion, again, and I'm only out of Scientology about a year or so. Less than a year, officially. But in my opinion, what I've gathered as I wake up, you know, it's a funny thing in Scientology. You feel as though you're waking up to the truth, the reality, or what really is. But what you're doing is waking up to the reality of Scientology, which is that, not the reality, which is the agreed upon universe of what is. And basically, in my opinion, the best thing you can be is yourself. And that's who you are. And that, you know, there's degrees to which you can actually become yourself. And that's probably what the whole spiritual interest is. For me, I don't really know. But what Scientology, the trick of it is, it makes you feel as though you're sold that you're actually becoming yourself. But what you're actually becoming is, my name's Jason Beghe. I was becoming Jason Beghe, the Scientologist, rather than just, not even Jason Beghe, but me. And the trick is, and you say, how do you fall for this shit? Go back to my first fucking win. Because it's me. It's me. And so there is you. But then it's you are through, I can't explain it, pressure of the group, or this is the thing I'm trying to get. Because I've never been like a guy, well, I got to get a pair of those shoes because everybody's wearing them. It's not been, I've been always, oh, I got to find my own if everybody's wearing those things. But it's like, and maybe that's how I got out to some degree, is that I always try, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I had never, you know, bought a BMW or whatever the fuck people want to do, you know, but it's like, to me, it gives you a way of thinking that, at least for me and from what I observe of others, is not native to that person. I think, as I said before, in my opinion, I suspect, I'm no Dalai Lama, but I think that the best thing you can be is yourself. And that if you can do that truthfully, it'll be beautiful and successful and interesting. I don't know about success, like how you define it, but it'll be a worthwhile time spent. And what happens is you are sold, and again, the trap is good because you sell it to yourself. Because if you're not on course, you're wanting to be on course, or you should be on course. You've got your own self in jail. It's an autopilot gig. It's quite good. I think there's some hypnotism in there or something. I don't quite know, but it's quite surprising. And so at the end of the thing, you end up being, like here's an example. You start the ethics technology. So you start thinking, okay, and you start thinking in terms of the conditions of existence that he laid out, and that these are behaviors. And so now you're not just going, you know what the fuck, I think I need to take a walk, and I think I got to become, I'm going to be, an insurance salesman, and that's my truth. It's, you have to go through these steps and do this. It's like retarded. It's not true. It's not true. And I did ethics cycles and conditions, and nothing changed. I've seen people who've done them and they've changed. So I don't know, whatever. But there's a placebo effect. I don't quite know.